Hello, it's Monday and we are live. There we go. Live, and I'm hearing myself talk. Hi, it's Monday and we are going to talk today about boundaries. Woo! Boundaries, a parent's favorite thing to enforce. Just kidding. No, we're going to talk about how important boundaries are. And I know it's so hard. Boundaries are so hard. They're hard in all relationships. And we don't like them as parents because they turn us into the bad guy all the time, right? It makes us feel like the bad guy. But I'm here to shift your perspective a little bit on holding boundaries for your kids. We'll do this quickly today so that I don't take up tons of your time, but give you a little nugget to encourage you that kids are they need boundaries. They need boundaries. It's a really healthy way to parent, to put up boundaries for your kids. It's the godly way to parent. It's what God does for us. And it's, oh, wow. Okay. Sorry. My computer went a little crazy. I guess in a good way. Okay. So boundaries, so important for our kiddos. And God does it. He put up boundaries when he created the earth, and he put Adam and Eve in Eden, right? In the Garden of Eden. He created boundaries when he when he let the Israelites go into the promised land, right? There were boundaries. It's specific in Deuteronomy, the boundaries that make up the promised land, right? He taught them to build boundaries around their cities, the walls of Jericho. They needed to rebuild, or they took down the walls of Jericho. Nehemiah needed to rebuild the walls around the city. It's super important. And then in Psalms, let's see, I have it pulled up on my phone, 16. Let me read you this short little passage, 16, starting at verse 5. Lord, you alone are my portion and my cup. You make my lot secure. The boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Surely I have a delightful inheritance. I will praise the Lord who counsels me. Even at night, my heart instructs me. I keep my eyes always on the Lord. With him at my right hand, I will not be shaken. I love that whole chunk. But verse 6, the boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. God puts up boundaries around us, and they are good. They are good. And he tells us where the boundary is. He tells us how to behave within the boundaries. In the garden, he gave instruction. He gave tons of instruction to the Israelites going into the promised land, right? He gave instruction. He gives us instruction right now how to live it with kingdom principles. That's the boundary of living in the kingdom. Here's my little fluffy girl, freshly washed, freshly showered and swam. So
clothes on.
It's a good thing to do boundaries. And if here, you want to sit on my lap? You want to sit with us?
Actually, no.
No? Okay. Okay. That's fine. So or not she, when we are uh, doing boundaries, it's really important to establish boundaries for our kids and let them know where are these lines, where are the boundary lines, right? God does that each time. And we need to let them know ahead of time, okay, this is where you get to operate. And inside, you have all the freedom. There's some rules in there, but you have all the freedom to make all the choices you want within these boundaries. However, if you're violating the rules, or if you're bumping up against the boundaries, there are consequences. And this is what will happen if you want to break the rules, or whatever it is. And so and then you have to follow through with that. You have to follow through with the consequences, of course, because otherwise your children will not trust you. They will not trust what you say. And so it's a way to build trust, but also boundaries actually, and teaching them to behave in certain areas with certain people and certain groups, whatever it is. In certain times, yes, timing, places, all that. It's actually a gift to your child. It's a gift to your child to teach them, because imagine they leave your house. And what happens right now is there's so many parents who are afraid of messing up their kids or being too harsh or doing it wrong, that they're not parenting. They're not parenting. And then there's the other extreme that are so controlling that they're not putting up boundaries and giving their kid freedom within the boundaries. They have to micromanage and nitpick every little behavior. So we have to fall in the middle where we're setting up a great boundary and then explaining to our kids, where are those boundary lines? And in different situations, this looks different, right? If, like, for example, right before I got on here, Lily got out of the hot tub and she did not want to shower off afterwards. And I said, well, our rule is that you shower off. And says mommy always shower off? Yes. Does daddy always shower off? Yes. Does sister always shower? Right? Yes, always. Okay. But I don't want to. Oh, I know. We do a lot of things in life we don't want to, but it's the right choice to make. However, okay. She's telling you that she wore her clothes into the hot tub, and she did. Okay. And so she's saying, oh, but that protected her, that she didn't need to rinse off now. Well, our rule in our family is that we rinse off afterwards. And so I said, okay, you can do it now, or I can put you in when I get off and I do my Monday live. And she didn't like that either, but I held the boundary. And I also said, if you don't want to shower, you don't get to go in the hot tub the next time. And that's sad, because we have great family time in the hot tub, don't we? We have a lot of fun. It's a positive thing. So, and she was whining. She was coming up with every excuse. She was right. You were. And I lovingly held firm on this, like super lovingly, didn't I? Yeah. Super firm on this boundary. Yeah. And look, she didn't like it. She finally decided, okay, I'm just going to do it now, since I'll either have to do it now or I'm going to have to do it later or miss out on the hot tub.
It's better.
Yeah, because then you're all dry. Like, do it while you're just wet and you just rinse off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of dry.
But she still had the freedom to make the choice.
How did
Fine, I'm going to do it. Huh? And aren't you so grateful that you just did it? And
Yeah.
you did the hard thing. You did the hard thing, and now you can pop up on the Zoom. Yes. So the other, and next time you get to go in the hot tub, there's no problems. The one thing that I want to talk about before signing off is the gift it is to your child. Because imagine them leaving your house. Okay, hold on. One more of that. Okay. Imagine them leaving your house, going to work for the first time at their first job, going, well, I didn't know I couldn't say that, or I didn't know that you couldn't act that way. I didn't know, right? Like, and they're getting fired because they were allowed to get away with all this stuff because we're so afraid of making a mistake that we weren't parenting enough and guiding them enough. And instead, we are literally giving them a disservice of letting them walk out of our house and not knowing how to behave. And then that's going to be hurtful for them. Well, my parents never taught me that. My parents never, and that feels like then at that point, right now, it feels like, oh, if my parents cared about me, they won't discipline me. But on the other end, if you can have like a long-term, like a long-term goal, you just want to be with mama, don't you? You miss me today. If you can have a long-term outlook and think, oh, okay, it's actually like on that end, they're going to think my parents didn't care. I need you to get off the back of the chair. Okay. Thank you. My parents didn't care enough about me to teach me these things. Right. And so think of it as the gift you're giving them, even though it's hard in the moment and you feel harsh, right? Or you feel like, oh, I don't want to cause an issue, right? Or a power struggle or whatever. And remember to diffuse that power struggle, I asked her questions and I gave her choices within that boundary. Within that boundary. And that's really powerful for disarming that power struggle. Okay.
Oh,
But
but
the boundary, like showing them there's rules and you need to follow them or there's consequences with that. I mean, I've just been diving into the Old Testament really deeply and like learning the fear of the Lord and what God really actually required from his people. I'm almost done. And there's grace upon grace. We live on this side of the cross. There's grace and there's mercy and all the things and forgiveness and blah, blah, blah. But still, we are blessed when we walk in obedience of his ways. We are blessed if we obey him and not our fleshly desires. We are blessed. And he is such a good father to actually teach that to us and then give us the choice to follow or not. But you can't say he didn't teach us. It's all throughout the word. And when you have a personal relationship with him, he's constantly guiding you and talking to you. And so anyway, okay, that's my spiel on boundaries for the day. What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
And if you're a mean mom, you'll go do right now.
If a mean mom says that, just do it right now. Oh, if you're a mean mom. Sorry. Oh man. Okay. Well, blessings upon blessings upon blessings. To you
too.
and work on these boundaries this week. Get some idea of where am I placing the boundaries? Am I communicating boundaries to my kids, right? Am I communicating good boundaries or am I just yelling at them when they're doing something I don't want, but they don't even know that that's violating boundaries? So give them a good idea of what are the rules, what are the boundaries, and then what's going to happen if not. So, okay, boundary talk done. If you missed last week's Monday live for just a tiny bit more because my birthday was last week, I have my brand new ebook. It's called Coming Out of Survival Mode, and it is finally for sale. And I have it on crazy, crazy, crazy discount for like $2.97, I think is what I put it for. Like $2.97. Like that's it. So soon I'm going to pop that back up. Go grab it. It's at kingdommotherhood.com/store. The only thing in there right now, so you can't lose it. And there's no excuse to not find it. And lots and lots of you have been grabbing it and I'm getting good feedback. So please also give me feedback. I would really, really love it if you read it and even if there's spelling errors or whatever, like please, I'm open. Give me the feedback. So yeah. And that's it. I will link it in the comments and have a great week. Have a great week. Okay. Bye.